We are located here between the Missouri River and the Bear Paw Mountains, which each one is about 5 miles from us. And we're in a zone that really receives less hail than anybody closer to the river or closer to the mountains. So we're normally in a relatively safe zone. But we've seen that it hasn't protected us the last 2 years the way it used to. We had 2 droughts in a row without really having a wet cycle in the middle of it, which when I was growing up, and then since we returned to the farm 35 years ago, we saw that continuing, those cycles of wet and dry. And since the turn of the century, we haven't really seen that. It was very hard on our trees and it caused a lot of damage. This has no damage. This has severe damage. And this is bare fire blight. It set in after the hailstorm. So when people ask me about resilience, I think of adaptability. We've tried to be very adaptable to changes in markets, in climate, in trends that people are looking for, even in what they're buying. So one of the things that we've done is add several enterprises to the farm. And we're trying to add enterprises that are interrelated and interdependent, and yet independent at the same time. One thing, just to interject, you hear a little noise in the background, that's my grandkids. And part of what I do in this farm is for their benefit. It's for the future generations. And I think if we don't farm and eat with the future generations in mind, we are making a mistake. There's a nice one. I tell my friends and politicians and whoever asks, we don't grow a single commodity on this farm. I just hate the term commodity and the mentality of commoditizing food. We grow only food on our farm. We grow food for families to nurture their children and to maintain their own health. So that's our goal, and that's what we try to do. Quinn Farm and Ranch has really evolved over the years in very significant ways. First of all, the most significant thing that we did in about 1985 is trade my cattle herd for a flour mill. And it was diversification, but quite a different type of diversification. I then changed from, just a couple years later, from chemical farming to organic farming. We planted our first organic crop in 1986, and so that was a big change when we converted the whole farm to organic. Then I spent probably 25 years trying to figure out the best ways of maximizing organic production systems so that they would be sustainable and reproducible. When you talk about soil quality in relation to drought or weather change, it's a very important question. And of course, the main thing with soil quality is having the soil in the first place. So our first goal is not to have it either blow away or wash away. And since we've converted to organic, I'm seeing much less erosion in wind and in water. The soil is more absorbent, so it soaks up the rains quicker. So I'm having less water erosion. Both of those things have been very important to us. As climate change becomes more pronounced, I think we're going to have to continue to use those kinds of changes in our farming to survive. We just don't want to survive, we want to actually be successful. That's how you pass it on to the next generation. We want to leave the land better than we found it. We want to leave them with hope for success and the opportunity to farm if they like and the way they would like to do it.